Hi, this is 365 and this is my unread BL manga collection. So I recently got some IKEA bookshelves because most of my collection is in drawers or in boxes in my parents' loft. And I have now collected way too many to fit in the drawers, so I do need to put them somewhere. I did end up getting 3 of these shelves. I might not keep this configuration, I might change it, but in the very hot summer I have managed to put them up, so I'm gonna try and see if I can put as much on these shelves that are unread from my BL manga or webcomic collection, any of my physical BL. That I have not read yet. I did the same already to my prose, so you can go check out that video as well. So yeah, I'm gonna make this my TBR wall, or at least I'm gonna try to. We'll see how many I can actually get on here, because I do suspect it's probably in the hundreds, so we'll see how much of it I can actually put on here. I'm gonna start with some of the piles that I have all over the place and try and organize them first and get them through up here, and I will show you what I've got. So I'm going to start with some Fantagraphics because they're heavy and they're going to go at the bottom here. And so I'm going to start with The Pole Clan Volume 1. This is by Moto Hagio. I don't have Volume 2 yet. Then I move on to Wandering Sun. This is by Shimura Takako, and I've got Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, and Volume 8. This is the final volume that's been published so far. I've got one volume from Orbit. This is Breaks Volume 1 by Emma Viacelli and Malin Ryden. I have one unread volume from One Piece Books, and that is I Hear the Sunspot 4 Seasons Volume 2. I know Volume 3 has just been released, but I haven't picked it up yet. So I'm hoping to do that, and then I can read 1, 2, and 3 and see how the story is progressing. It's a real favourite of mine, but I've been holding on to this for a wee while. I managed to pick up the 5 volumes of Released by Chifumi Ochi. This is Yaoi Generation, and I think it's Breath. So this is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and the final Volume 5. I think I've only got 2 volumes of Square Enix titles, and this is Volume 6 of Cherry Magic, 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard, and this is by Yu Toyota, and also Volume 7. I don't have Volume 5, so I won't be able to read these 2 until I pick that one up. I have only one copy from Dream Spinner, and this is Frog by Mary Cams with art by Pyong Cho. Now, I don't have many from Kuma, but I recently picked up Wolfpack by Billy Bali. I also have Terano-kun and Kumazaki-kun. This is by Yoriko. Canis Dear Hatter Volume 1 by Zach. And Volume 2. Ogaretz Tanaka's Happy of the End, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I'm hoping that Volume 3, when it comes out, or maybe it's already come out, will be the final one and I can just read the whole series. And then I have Happy Crappy Life by Harada, Volume 2 and Volume 3, so I can't read this series yet. I have some Viz titles that I haven't read yet, and I have some Viz titles that I have that I want to put in the drawers. So I'm taking out a few things to make room so I can put my TBR on the shelf. The first one is Until I Love Myself, The Journey of a Non-Binary Manga Artist by Poppy Pesuyama, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I also have To Strip the Flesh by Oto Toda, Now I also have a few series that I've started but not finished yet. I have Loveless by Yun Koga. This is the Omnibus Volume 3 and 4, the Omnibus Volume 5 and 6, and the Omnibus Volume 7 and 8, Volume 9, Volume 10, Volume 11, Volume 12, and Volume 13. I think this is the last published volume in English and it might be on hiatus. I also have an incomplete series. I have not collected all of the volumes yet and I've not read them all, so I have Unread Volume 5 of Bloody Mary by Akaza Samamiya, Volume 6, and Volume 8. I'm missing Volume 7, 9, and 10. Another incomplete series is Descendants of Darkness, Yami no Matsue by Yoko Matsushita. This is Volume 1. I have Volume 7, and the last one that got published by Viz Media, I think, was Volume 11, though I have seen that there's, I think, a Volume 12 or 13 in Japanese. Hopefully that's made a bit of room in my Viz Media drawer so I can put in some of the ones that I've already read that I picked up last year and I have not found a space for them yet. So this is some heavier things and also some smaller piles that I have. Let's move on to a slightly larger pile. Let's move on to probably my favourite publisher in terms of what they produce and how often we get things. It's a good amount and it is of course just a pure BL publisher, Sublime. So I'm going to start with some that I took out of the drawer because most of the things in the drawer I have read, which is great. So I can add what I've recently purchased to the small amount that I took from the drawer. The first one is Embracing Love by Yokanita. This is the Omnibus Volumes 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6. This is on hiatus now and I don't think we're going to get any more. On to one that I have tried to read a couple of times last year in December and once again in January. I did not get round to finishing this one. I really did think I was going to, but I didn't manage to. So this is Candy Color Paradox Volume 6 by Isaku Natsume, and the Candy Color Paradox Assorted Pack as well. I have Volume 3 of Ranmaru Zaria's Birds of Shangri-La, and Volume 8 of Natsuki Kizu's Given, along with the final Volume 9. I wanted to get round to this in June, but I haven't managed it yet. I have Starting with a Kiss by Yokanita. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. I have Awkward Silence by Hinako Takanaga. This is Volume 4, Volume 5, and the final Volume 6. I have his favourite. I'm not sure if I've read Volume 10, but I'll include it anyway. So this is Suzuki Tanaka's His Favourite, Volume 10, Volume 11, which I know I haven't read, Volume 12, and the latest Volume 13. I have Finder by Ayano Yamane, To the Edge. This is Volume 11. Finder Embrace. This is Volume 12. And Finder Mirage. This is Volume 13. I've got some next in the series. This is Megumi and Tsugumi, Volume 5. Don't Be Cruel, ++3. A volume I was struggling to actually pick up. This is Therapy Game Restart, Volume 4 by Meguru Hinohara. And the final volume of Crimson Spell. This is Volume 7 by Ayano Yamane. I've got a spin-off series, the start of one. This is Pink Heart Jam Beat, Volume 1 by Shike. And some volumes that I was missing. This is Sachimo's Black or White, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, and Volume 9. I haven't picked up Volume 10 yet. I'm just realising I obviously haven't read Volume 8 either, and I have no idea where it is, so I'm going to have to go look for that. But yeah, just imagine this is Volume 8. I will find it, because it has to be somewhere. I've got a couple of one-shots, The Metal Head Next Door by Mamita, and Takara's Treasure by Minta Suzumaru. I've got some series that I've completed and not yet read. This is Sagan Sagan's Old Fashioned Cupcake and Old Fashioned Cupcake with Cappuccino. I have The Palace of the Omega by Fumi Tsuyuhisa, Volume 1, and the final Volume 2. I have Worst Soulmate Ever by Haruta, and Worst Soulmate Ever Proposal. I have Stigmata Love Bites by Hidebu Takahashi, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And I have no idea why one is covered in plastic and the other one isn't. They both have the explicit content sign, so don't know what happened there. And finally, I have Neyama's My Dearest Patrolman Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And it nicely all fits on one shelf, except obviously now I'm very aware that my Volume 8 of Black or White is somewhere in the house, and I'll have to find it and just slot it in the top there. But yeah, so one shelf of unread Sublime is actually quite a nice feeling. I've got plenty of things to read from this publisher, which I said is my favourite. Now we're going to move on to Tokyo Pop, and I did go into the drawer where I have been keeping my Tokyo Pop. I think I'm going to have to move them because there's not going to be enough space to put all the ones that I have read in, so that's going to have to involve a bit of removing things and moving things around. So we're going to have a wee look at what I've got. Well, let's start with some one-shots. And the first one I've got here is At 30 I Realised I Had No Gender. Life Lessons from a 50-year-old After 2 Decades of Self-Discovery. And this is a manga memoir by Sho Arai. I think this is just one volume and it is large print size. This is Scarlet Secret and this is by Tomo Serizawa. I have A Kiss That Stains the Innocence by Emu Sotome. Jealousy Blinds Love by Eiji Nagisa. My Love Will Last Until the End of Time by Nanako Haida. Now we'll move on to like a single volume that I have of a series, and this is A Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation, Volume 6 by Misaki Momochi, Lamp, Sagnote and Sando. I don't think I've read 6. I'm pretty sure I've read 5, but I don't think I've read 6. I think I only have Volume 3 as well. So yeah, more to get of this. I have Volume 2 of My Beautiful Man. This is by Yu Nagira and Megumi Kitano. I have Never Let Go Volume 1 by Saki Sakimoto. I have Volume 4 of Hanger by Hirotaka Kisaragi. I have Volume 5 of Our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide by Mone Sorai. I do not have Volume 4 yet. I have Volume 1 of Let's Eat Together, Aki and Haru. And I have Volume 2 of My Dear Agent. This is by Ebino Bisque. I have Volume 1 digitally, but not physically. I have Is This the Kind of Love I Want by Koki. This is Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I think this should be complete. I have The Black Cat and the Vampire. This is by Nike Taino, and this is Volume 1 and Volume 2, and this should also be complete. I have Confessions of a Shy Baker by Masaomi Ito. This is Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I think at least 4 volumes have been released. I have World's End Bluebird by Anji Seina, and this is Volume 1 and a random Volume 3. I have Mitsuka. This is by Akabeko. I have Volume 2 and Volume 3. There have been 4 volumes released. I do not have 1 or 4. This is Osan Idol. This is by Chika Kino and Mochiko Mochida. This is Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. I have read Volume 1 and I have it, and I think there's quite a few more volumes in this series. This is Double by Ayako Noda. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. I believe there is a Volume 5 as well. I have Lullaby of the Dawn by Ichika Yuno. This is volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. I have ordered the specials from Blackwell's, but I have not received mine, unfortunately. And I know that there is a volume 5 out just now and a volume 6 planned later, either this year or beginning of next. I have Whales of the Bound by Keri Kusabi. I believe this is volume 1. Then I'm not sure, but I'm assuming this carries it on. And this is Whales of the Bound Beta by Keri Kusabi, volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. So I think this is everything from Tokyopop that I haven't read yet that's in my collection. I may be wrong because I did find my volume 8 from Black or White and also volume 3 from Therapy Game Restart, which I realised I also have not read. So a couple more there might pop up here and there. But this is everything physically that I own. I have purchased a couple of digital titles, but I think I may have read everything that I own digitally. But yeah, it's already quite a sizable stack. Many of them I can't read because they have some volumes missing, but then many of them I can and just haven't gotten round to yet. I do enjoy quite a lot of Tokyopop titles, although some of them I do find kind of a little bit like June manga ones in that they are a little bit forgettable. So yeah, interesting titles, but also sometimes forgettable ones. But yeah, quite a stack there as well, but not quite a full shelf. So I'm going to move on to 7Cs, and I actually don't have as much 7Cs as I thought I would. We'll start with the large trim size and something that I'm actually hoping to read pretty soon for my 801 readathon, and that is, a big chunky boy, Obnoxious Hero-kun, the complete collection by Amandur. This is like a big omnibus version of it. I also have Killing Stalking by Kugi, Volume 2 and Volume 3. I also have The Grand Master of Demonic Cultivation, the comic. This is Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 5. I'm missing Volume 4. I'll need to pick that up. Volume 6 and Volume 7. I have some one-shots. The first is a recent pickup. This is Marriage to Kitsune-sama by Home Run Ken. A non-fiction one-shot. This is I'm a terminal cancer patient, but I'm fine by Hilnama. This is an autobiography. I've got Sarazanmai, the official manga anthology. This is by various authors. They're all drawing stories from Sarazanmai. So this is a little one-shot as well. And a classic. This is Claudine by Ryoko Ikeda. I have some that are either starting or continuing series. This is Yes, No, or Maybe, the manga version. This is volume 1, and this is by Michi Ichiho and Yuki Mura. I've got volume 3 of Barbarities. This is by Suzuki Tsuta. I know that there's a volume 4 out as well, but I haven't picked it up yet. This is I'm Kinda Chubby and I'm Your Hero, Volume 2 by Nore. I have read half of this and I got very bored. It felt a bit slumpy, so I put it to the side, but I do want to finish it because then it's off my TBR. And I've also got a random Volume 3 of The Dangerous Convenience Store by 945. I have actually read a lot of this, if not all of it. Maybe just, I don't know, I've read a lot of it as a webcomic anyway, so I just want to pick them up as and when they're good prices. Now I also have some smaller trim size. We'll start with the series that I have. The first one is Merman in My Tub. This is by Ito Kichi. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 7, I'm missing Volume 6, and Volume 8. So I have an almost complete full series that I have not read a single volume of in my collection. Now another series that I have that is almost complete and completely unread is Love Me for Who I Am by Kato Konoyama. I have volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, and volume 5. It seems like volume 1 is a little difficult to get hold of, so I don't know if I'm ever actually going to get around to reading this. Another series I have a lot of volumes of that I haven't quite read, and I'm not entirely sure if I have read Seaside Stranger Volume 1. I think I have, but I'm not convinced. Maybe I only read half of it. I don't know. So this is, yes, Seaside Stranger by Ki Kana Umibe no Etonje. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and volume 5. There is a volume 6 out, but I haven't picked it up yet. Now, a series that I've started and I could continue because I have the volumes. This is The Case Files of Jeweler Richard, the manga version. This is volume 3, volume 4, and volume 5. I think volume 6 has now been released. Another series that I have that I could continue reading because I've read the first and second volumes, but unfortunately on my second reading of volume 1 I didn't really enjoy it. Volume 2 was only meh, so I've lost my mojo for this one. I Think I Turned My Childhood Friend into a Girl. This is by Azusa Banjo, and this is volume 3 and volume 4. I do have a couple from series that I can't read because I'm missing volumes, and that is Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher, volume 4. This is by Tama Mizuki, and I don't have volumes 2 or 3. Another is Crossplay Love Otaku Punk. This is by Toru. I have got and read volume 1, but I also have a volume 6 and a volume 7. I think there's like 12 volumes of this now. I did not expect this to be such a long running series, but I only want to pick them up when they're fairly cheap. I did enjoy volume 1, but yeah, it's not a huge priority, but it is one that I really enjoyed. And lastly, I have some either one-shots or starts of series. This one is at, I don't know, it's at like 1 in the morning in Akasaka, 2500, volume 1 by Hiroko Natsuno. This is just the first volume, so I can certainly read this one. A one-shot that I thought I had read, but I actually only just half read. This is Only the Stars Know by Nagisa Furuya. And one that's going to be on my TBR for a while because I have no real impetus to read it is Sarazanmai, Reo and Mabu. This is by Ikuni Rapper and Misaki Saito with character design by Migi. I have not watched Sarazanmai, so I will eventually, I'm sure. So this is all of my unread 7 Seas, which is a fairly good little stack, but a lot of them are series that I need to continue, and I'm pretty good about reading things that I pick up from 7 Seas, so that's why I don't have too many one-shots or volume 1s, things that I've picked up fairly recently. So a lot of them are things that are either full series or continuing. I'm pretty good about reading my 7 Seas when I get them. If I haven't, it's usually because I haven't picked up ones previously, so there are gaps. Just because I'm doing it as and when I can get good bargains. But yeah, I'm happy with this little stack. I'm planning on reading quite a few things, hopefully for the 801 readathon. So this won't stay like it is for too much longer, I don't think. So we're going to move on to another publisher. This is going to be Kodansha Comics and possibly Kodansha Vertical. I don't know exactly if this is just Kodansha or if it's Kodansha Comics. They've got a different imprint name for this, especially because their boys' love tends to be with this one. Anyway, we're going to start with the Kodansha Comics and a series. This is Hitorijime My Hero. This is by Memiko Ari, and I have read volume 1 and Hitorijime Boyfriend and a couple of other volumes, so this is going to have a little bit of a weird gap in it. So I have volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 7, because I've read 5 and 6, Volume 8, Volume 9, Volume 10, Volume 11, Volume 12, Volume 13, and this feels different from the other ones. It's got a more of a shiny finish than the weird matte one they had previously. And volume 14. So yeah, I have not read the majority of the series. I would like to get the box sets, but I don't want to pay for box sets for a series, which I'm just duplicating when I haven't read the series. So that's the plan. I need to read this before I can buy the box sets. So yeah, fingers crossed. That's a lot of volumes to get through. I have another series where I've read the first volume and nothing else, and that is Ten Dance by Inoue Sato. This is volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, and volume 7. I think this is the latest one that's been released, so I'm up to date, but I've not read any of it. Another series I've read the first volume to, but nothing else, is Descending Stories Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju by Haruko Kumota. And I have volume 2, volume 3, a new acquisition, volume 4. Then we skip a few volumes that I don't have yet, volume 9. And then volume 10, which is damaged, so I'm probably going to want to pick up another copy at some point, but I'm going to keep this in my collection until then. So yeah, I have 5, 6, 7, and 8 to get, and then I can binge this. This is a really great series. The anime is amazing. If you haven't already, go check it out. It is going to be a wild ride, and you're going to love it. I've got a couple more new acquisitions. This is My Noisy Roommate, The Roof Over My Head Comes with Monsters and a Hottie by Kaho Ozaki. This is volume 1. And I also have I Got Reincarnated in a BL World of Big Man Boobs by Tsukiji Nao. This is also volume 1. And a random one-shot, A Vampire in the Bathhouse by Nico Izuki, and this is just a one-shot. Now we move on to Kodansha. That's just Kodansha, not Kodansha Comics. As you can see here, it just says Kodansha and it's got the symbol. I don't know what this imprint is called. Can someone please inform me so that I can organize things better? Because I know it doesn't have the symbol at the top like these guys. It just has the little weird square. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to start with this series. And that is Keiyaku, Bound by Law. This is Yoshie Kaoruhara's, and this is volume 1, volume 2, volume 4, and volume 5. Yes, I'm missing volume 3, and I think there's quite a lot of volumes to this. I think we're already up to 8 or something. So I have not read any of it yet. I would like to, but I think maybe if I get volume 3, I'll have more impetus. I say that, but who knows? But yeah, I've got 4 volumes that I need to read. So this is everything that I have for Kodansha, which isn't a huge amount. Kodansha don't have a huge BL output, but I feel like even then I'm not really concentrating too much on Kodansha. I always get these incidentally. I sometimes read things through NetGalley. I always feel bad because they have like automatically said here you can have these to read, and then I don't necessarily go out my way to buy them, but I do want to collect obviously everything BL, but and a few others like Descending Stories, which isn't necessarily BL, but it is by someone who has written BL, and therefore it does have some themes in it that I enjoy. So yeah, this is my little fairly easy stack. Other than Hitorijime and Ten Dance, they're huge, big, chunky series, and I think because they're just getting longer, they're more of a hurdle to climb. I just have to just sit down and read them, you know? It's just sit down and read your manga. It's kind of time for some of these series. But yeah, not too many, but ones that I actually have a lot of enthusiasm to read still. Now, while there's still space on the shelf and because technically this is now an imprint of Kodansha. I'm going to go through my vertical titles, which is actually vertical, or what's left of it. I was only ever really collecting one thing from Vertical, and I haven't really collected them a lot for a while, and that is What Did You Eat Yesterday by Fumi Yoshinaga. I have read half of this volume. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and half of this. And then I just stopped for whatever reason. I haven't picked up a single volume in probably about 2 years now, it feels like. So yeah, I have volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, which was incredibly elusive until Kodansha took over Vertical. Volume 10, volume 11, volume 12, volume 13, volume 14, volume 15, volume 16, and volume 17. I think we're up to 22 now, so I am a bit behind. But yeah, so I'll have to try and read some more before I actually go out and try and purchase some. I feel like that's something I need to do. So I'm going to put these, what are they, 10, 11 volumes, along with my Kodansha, because technically Vertical is now an imprint of Kodansha. So this is where it's going to live until I actually read it. I don't know, we can put on guesses. Who's gonna get read first? The rest of What Did You Eat Yesterday or Hichijime My Hero? I don't know. So the next publisher we're going to be looking at is, well, technically it's Yen Press, but the first couple of volumes are not Yen Press ones that I'm going to show you. They're from Ice Kunyon, which is a Korean manhwa publisher. And that's because I own some of these as part of a series that are predominantly Yen Press published. So this, the first one that I'm going to show is actually 1001 Nights by Han Sung-hee and Yeon Jin-suk. And this is obviously, as you can see, Ice Kunyon. And I have volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. These are all the Ice Kunyon ones. I do need to see if I could maybe pick up them, but as I've got these anyway, I'm not too bothered about it. I do need to pick up the ones that I'm missing from Yen Press. So I have volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, and volume 7. This is an 11 volume series, so I have 8 through 11 to still pick up from Yen Press, but they are a little bit more difficult to get because I don't think they published this anymore. So yeah, this is the first unfinished one that I have not read, but I could have because I have volumes 1 through 7. Another unfinished series that I have is The Betrayal Knows My Name. This is Hotaru Odagiri, and this is an omnibus version. So the first volume has, I think, volumes 1 and 2 in it. And I also have volume 2 as well. So this will have volumes 3 and 4 in it. These are the only 2 that I have of this series so far. Now another series I have is New York, New York by Maremo Ragawa. This is volume 1 of the omnibus, so 1 and 2. And I think this is 3 and 4, so this is volume 2 of New York, New York. I have not read any of this, and I'm not sure if I want to. Another series I have is I Want to Be a Wall by Honami Shirono. This is volume 2 and volume 3. I've already read volume 1 and I really enjoyed it, and I want to read these 2 very soon. I also have the last volume of Monster and the Beast, volume 4 by Renji. This is the final one. I very much want to read this, but for whatever reason, I feel like I need to do a full reread before I get to this last volume. So that is the full 4 volumes before I can actually finally finish this one. Now the last official large print size, or large trim size I should say, is Minato's Laundromat Volume 4. This is a very recent pickup. This is by Sawa Kanzume and Suzu Tsubaki. So I need to pick up Volume 3 before I can read this. Now I'm going to show this here, but it's not actually going here because I thought this was a manga. It's not. I really should have looked properly. It's a yen on one, so this is actually going to be added on to my TBR for my pros. This is Sasaki and Miyano's second years. This is by Sho Harusono and Kotoko Hachijo. It is pros, but I did not notice it. I did get it secondhand, so yeah. I didn't even look inside. I just added it to this pile instead of taking it downstairs to my pros TBR. So this will be added on to whatever number. I'll need to do an update of that one as well because I've read some things, but I need to add some things as well. Now onto my yen press smaller trim size. This is Nabari no O by Yuki Kamatani. This is volume 1. I watched the anime when it came out a long time ago and I found it quite depressing and confusing, but I did want to try and pick up one volume and read it. So yeah, this is on my TBR. I'm not sure if I'll keep it because this is a difficult series to collect. I'm not sure if I want to have it in my collection because I know that it's kind of BL but not. So yeah, this is just a volume 1. A volume 1 that I know is a BL and a recent acquisition. This is Be My Worst Nightmare volume 1 by Michelle. Another fairly recent acquisition is Associate Professor Akira Takatsuki's Conjecture, Volume 1 as the manga. This is by Toji Aoi, Mikage Sawamura, and Jiro Suzuki. So yeah, this is the manga version of the light novel, Volume 1. And I have a slightly chunkier Volume 2 as well. Now I have some continuing of series that I need to read, and that is Sasaki Miyano by Sho Harusono. I've got volume 7 and volume 8, as well as this Sasaki Miyano official comic anthology that I need to read. So this is the one that is manga that I was getting confused about. So this one is added to the TBR. I also have Hirano and Kagiura volume 4 to read as well. Another series I need to finish is Sotus by Bittersweet, art by Kay. This is volume 2 and this is volume 3. I have 2 volume 2s now. Well, I do have a few extras. I bought this just to get this volume, and it's in a really good condition. A couple that I need to finish that only have volume 2s out or only have volume 2s out so far. This one is the only volume 2, so this is the final, as it says underneath. Manner of Death by Yukari Umemoto and Samon. This is based on a novel. I have read volume 1, so I just need to finish this mystery series. And the last yen press is The Red Thread by Lazy Sheep and Hibiko Haruyama. This is volume 2. I'm not sure if we're going to get more of this, but we do have volume 3 and 4 already out as a manga. And I think this is also a drama too, I just found out. So quite a lot of adaptations in the BL sphere. So this is all of my yen press. It's not too many, in fact. Seems like one of the smallest amounts, so I'm quite happy about it. I do have a couple that are non-BLs that I have in, I think it's at Silver Spoon. I've got volume 1 and then I've got like a 9 and an 11, so I don't have the rest of the series. And I just realised I have a couple of Viz ones as well that are non-BL, so I'm mostly just putting the BL up here and leaving things like that down in the drawers. So yeah, this is everything. It's not a lot. I'm probably pretty good about keeping up with my yen press, other than the ones that I've had for a long time, such as 1001 Nights. And I'm mainly not read that because I know there's an 8, 9, 10 and 11, and part of me is like, do I want to keep this? Is it BL? If you've read it, let me know. Is it very BL? Does it get BL? And also if you've got the different yen press volumes 1, 2 and 3, or if you've seen the difference between the two, I'd love to know if there's a big difference, because obviously they're on this shelf, they're not yen press though. I'd also really like to get The Betrayal Knows My Name, the rest of that series. Unfortunately, I could have picked up the full set for 50 quid and I didn't. And then I had non-buyer's remorse, as you can imagine. Always non-buyer's remorse, never buyer's remorse. So yeah, this is not a very big stack, and I think I can probably get most of it down. I definitely want to read some more Sasaki Miyano in my 801 readathon, so this is not going to stay the size that it is. And I feel like Yen Press is going to have a dedicated drawer for itself. At the moment it's sharing it with Sublime and it's packed. It's so packed. So yeah, I'm going to have to expand on that. Yen Press is releasing a lot more BL than it did. It was in the Wastelands for a while. So yeah, happy with this wee stack to read. And it's not going to stay this size forever. So we're going to start with another publisher, and this is Net Comics. I do actually have quite a bit to read of Net Comics, and as you know, it's gone not necessarily under, it's just stopped publishing. Although I'm not sure, have they made an official announcement yet or not? So yeah, what I've got here will be what I need to read, which is quite nice because it won't actually ever expand. This is what I need to read, and this is the TBR and it's set. So we're going to start with, oh, can you see that? Totally Captivated Side Stories. I do have Totally Captivated, the first, was it 6 or 8 volumes? And it's in my other collection. So that's not going to be put on this TBR for just now, but this will have to just stay here because I'm not going to read it until I read that. So this is Totally Peeking Under the Sheets, Volume 1 by Hajin Yu. Volume 2, and a very big boy, Diary of Sung Chul. This is also part for the side stories. Now we're going to keep up with the larger trim size, not quite as large though. This is Killer Whales The Warehouse. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and the final Volume 5. So I have the complete set, which I was really happy to be able to pick up before they all went out of print. Now the last of my larger trim size ones are Intense, Night on the Red Road by Kyung-ha Yi. This is Volume 1. Volume 2, Soft Sounds. Volume 3, The Dark Light of the Moon. It was difficult to read. And Volume 4, My Intense Lover. Now this has been in my drawer for quite some time as a complete set, and I've not read it, even though lots and lots of people say this is really good. And I found a spider on it. That's how long it's been sitting there unread. Onto my smaller trim size, and I have the complete set of Let Die by Soo Yeon Won. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, Volume 9, Volume 10, Volume 11, Volume 12, Volume 13, Volume 14, and the final Volume 15. Now I have a couple of series that are long but not quite as long as that, and the first one is Yusa's To Take an Enemy's Heart. I have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, and the final Volume 9. I really do like it when the volumes say final volume on it, just so that I know. So yeah, a full 9 volume series, and I've not read a single volume. Now another series is 9 volumes, and I've not read it, and I'm supposed to have read it. In fact, I was supposed to have read it back in the early in the year as a buddy read, and that is Boy Princess by Seyoung Kim. I was so excited to get this full series, and then I just haven't got around to reading it. I have read, if not the whole of this volume, I might even have gone into Volume 2. I read this, I think, 3 times this year. I keep going back and be like, I've read this already, but I don't know where I read it, so I've got to reread it. So, but I actually might have read the whole thing, but I'm not sure. I cannot remember. I don't know what it is. My memory's just not sticking with this one. So yeah, I have Boy Princess Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, and once again the final volume, Volume 9. Now I have another series. This is Prince Barry, story by Solanine and art by Maki, and I have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and the final volume, Volume 6. I have another 6-volume series. This is, I think, called Aegis. This is by Jinha Yu, and I have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6. Now this doesn't have final volume on it. I don't know. I think this is all that was published. I don't think we got anything more. If you know that there was, is there a Volume 7 out there that I don't have? Let me know and I'm going to try and find it. So yeah, I think there's only 6 volumes, but correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the first 3 volumes of the series Do Whatever You Want. I don't know how many volumes. I think it's like 7 or 9, something like that. This is by Yeri Na. But I only have the first 3. You can generally get the first 3 for quite cheap. And I did get these for very cheap. But I don't know if this is BL or if this is like shoujo with a little bit of like queer baiting, I guess. So yeah, I'm not sure about this one, and I haven't read it yet, so I don't know if I really want to. It was kind of included on my original list. Incidentally, I was like, maybe, maybe not. I'll get it if I can, and then I realised that it's quite difficult to get the rest of the series, so I'm not sure how much BL-esque stuff is in this one. If you know, please let me know if you've read it, or if you've got the whole series. I'd love to know. So I also have Volume 2 and Volume 3. But like I said, I can't really remember how many volumes there are, or if this is even BL. Now, a series that is advertised as being 3 volumes, but I've never seen one in the wild for Volume 3. This is Rudaville by E. Hae, and I have Volume 1 and Volume 2. But like I said, I've never seen a Volume 3 ever anywhere in the wild. So I don't know if they actually ever got round to printing Volume 3. Maybe digitally, and that's where I'd find it. So if you know, please let me know. If you have a Volume 3, oh my goodness, I'd love a photo. Just a photo that proves that it exists. So yeah, I've only got these 2 volumes of an apparent 3-volume series. But as I said, I don't know if they ever printed Volume 3. Now, from the same author, I have Not So Bad, and this is a 2-volume series, and this is Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now, Net Comics did also print some manga, not just manhwa, and we do have one from Ochi, Chifumi Ochi. This is Honey Senior Darling Jr., and this is Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I have 3 one-shots that I have either half read or not finished, or just not read at all. The first one is another manga, and this is by Psychedelico, Love Full of Stars. I think I picked this up and started it a couple of times, but I've never actually finished it. I also have one by SM called Age Called Blue, and this I keep meaning to read and I haven't read yet. And then one that gets put on loads of TBRs and never actually gets read, and you can tell because the plastic's still on it, is You Don't Know Me by Raccoon. And this is another manhwa. So this is everything from Net Comics that is unread in my collection, and it's actually quite substantial. So I'm glad I put it down on the bottom because it's going to help anchor this bookshelf as well. All these heavy things. I obviously have some things in my other collection that if I do get brought up to this house, I will add in here. For example, Totally Captivated. That's definitely one that needs to be added in because I can't read these 3 big ones until I get that and have read it. So yeah, there are quite a few complete series here though. Warehouse, Intense, Let Die, Boy Princess, To Take an Enemy's Heart, Prince Barry, and as far as I know, Aegis. So yeah, there's plenty to read here and ones I could read in its entirety, as well as 3 one-shots, a couple of complete 2-volume series. So yeah, there's lots to read and I'm just not reading it. And I don't know if it's because it's mostly manhwa or if it's just because I sometimes forget about netcomics, which maybe is why it went under, because I wasn't always aware. I didn't always think, oh yeah, I need to pick up that netcomics one. So yeah, it's a fair size stack and I need to make progress in it for sure. So I'm moving on to a new publisher, and that is DMP/June Manga. And I'm going to start with some that I have complete, but I don't have them complete here in this collection. Maybe I still have a few volumes in the other collection, so I don't have them here, so I won't be able to read them in their entirety. So we're going to start with Il Gatto sul G. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. This is volume 3. This is by Toko Miyagi, and I only have this volume 3 here, but I do have a complete set. Next, I have volume 4 of La Esperanza, or is it Esperanza? I don't know, please help. This is by Chigusa Kawaii. So I have volume 4 here and a volume 7. This is a 7-volume series and I have all the volumes. I just have this in my other collection. Another one I have complete, but in my other collection, is Steel Moon by Makoto Tatano. This is a volume 2. And I have Yukari Hashida's Kabuki. This is volume 2, also known as Red. And volume 3, known as Moon. I thought I had more of this up here, but I must have all of the other volumes. It's just a 4-volume series, so I'll have the other 2, volume 1 and 4, in my other collection. I also have Crazy Star by Sakurako Hanafubuki. This is actually part of a 4-volume series, and I have this one here. I don't know if this is volume 1, 2, or 3, but yeah, I have this one. I think it might be 2, but I'm not entirely sure. And I have this one, which is Shining Moon, which I am convinced this is volume 4, so... They don't have numbers on them, so I don't know if they can be read independently, but I don't think they can be. Maybe they've got independent stories, but I think this is just a continuing story about like fame and stuff like that. So don't know, I've never read it, but yeah, I don't have the other 2 volumes, so I won't be able to read this. They are in my other collection. Now moving on to ones that I can read, but I don't have a complete set of here in this collection. And the first one is Clan of the Nakagamis, The Devil Cometh. I think this might actually be volume 2. Or it might be volume 1. This is by Home Run Ken. Home Run Ken's just released some more. So I've just picked up some more Home Run Ken. This is a 2-volume series. And I don't know if this is volume 1 or volume 2. Which is why I'm not sure. I could probably read it. But I think this might actually be volume 2. So maybe I can't. So yeah, this is one that's going on this pile. Now I have a 4-volume series called Great Place High School Student Council, which is after Great Place High School. So there is another one that is a one-shot you're supposed to read before this. I only have volume 1 and volume 2 of Naruki Kojima's Great Place High School Student Council here in this collection. I do have volume 3 and 4 in my other collection. So I have the complete set. And I also have Great Place High School, and I've not read any of it. So it's going to go in this pile as well. Now, one I can for sure start is a volume 1. This is Flower of Life. As you can see, it's a digital manga publishing one. This is Fumi Yoshinaga's Flower of Life. This is a 4-volume series, but I only have volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. Volume 4 is notoriously difficult to get hold of, so I could definitely start the series. I don't think it's BL in any way, but it might be. But it is by Fumi Yoshinaga, so that's why it's in the collection. And I would love a volume 4, but I don't think I'll ever get one. And the last of these is Princess Princess by Mikio Tsuda, another digital manga publishing one. And I have volume 1, volume 3, volume 4, and volume 5. I also have the Princess Plus one, which is part of the Doki Doki imprint, but as you may have noticed, I don't have volume 2, so I can't read the whole series. I do need to try and pick up a volume 2, because then it would be a complete set. I have like one more volume to get and it's a complete set, just like Flower of Life, but I think volume 2 might be easier to get than a volume 4 of Flower of Life. Next up, I have some that are series, but that I can definitely read because I have them all here in this collection now. One I just recently brought back with me. We're going to start with another Nadoki Kojima. This is Our Kingdom. This is, as you can see, the DMP imprint, but with Yaoi manga written at the bottom. So this is volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3 has the pink bottom, the old pink bottom of Junei Yaoi manga. So this is volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, and the additional Our Kingdom Arabian Nights. And that's it, complete at 7 volumes. Next we have Makoto Tateno's Blue Sheep Reverie. And this one is the one I just brought back up from my other collection. And this is the old pink bottom. And this is volume 1. And then we move into the side spine design, but still large trim size. Volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, and volume 6. I think this might actually be a 9-volume series. I don't think it's the final volume in Japanese, but it's the final volume in English. On to another series which is longer than what we got. That is Kurashina Sensei's Passion by Natsuho Shino. This is, I think, maybe a 5 or 6 volume. I don't know, there's quite a few more volumes. We didn't get it all, so I've got volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3, and this is all we got from Junei manga, even though there's more in Japanese. Now, one I can read in its entirety is another Makoto Tateno, and that is Hero Heal. I have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and another one that's complete in 3 is Can't Win Without You. This is by Yukine Honami and Sato Sumi Takaguchi. So volume 1, volume 2, and the final volume 3. Now if we move on to some 2-volume series, but this one is an omnibus. It's more Makoto Tateno. This is the omnibus editions of Yellow. This is volume 1, so it's volume 1 and 2 to combined. And volume 2 omnibus of volumes 3 and 4. I have these as singles. They are in my other collection. They also have a couple of little thin like side stories or additional stories. I have them too, but they're also in my other collection. Next I have Yo Higuri's Ludwig II, volume 1, also I think must be omnibus, and volume 2 also I think omnibus, because they're quite thick. Next I have Clear Skies. This is volume 1, Akira Sugano and Etsumi Ninomiya. This is volume 1 and volume 2. Now this could have gone into the other pile, and I might just stick it in the other stack, because this is an incomplete one as well. So this should have been something like 6 volumes long, but we only got the first 2 published in English, which is a shame, because like the final volume is my favorite. So and there wasn't a continuation and a reprint in Japanese a few years ago. So maybe I'll pick them up in Japanese one day. But this is a lovely story, and I really like these 2 authors and mangaka. The 2 together, they work really well and write really great stories. On to some more 2-volume series. This is Hyota Fujiyama's Sunflower, volume 1 and volume 2. I have Fumiyoshi Naga's The Moon and the Sandals, volume 1 and volume 2. And for some reason I have 2 volume 2s. Next I have quite chunky ones. This is In the Walnut by Toko Kawaii, and this is volume 1 and a more regular sized volume 2. I also have Kiriko Higajizato. Wow, what name. Love Recipe Volume 1 and Volume 2. I have Shinri Fua's A Gentleman's Kiss Volume 1 and Volume 2. With the old DMP Yeri manga blue bottom, Are Everlasting by Toko Kawaii Volume 1 and Volume 2. One I just brought up from my other collection, this is Ordinary Crush by Hyota Fujiyama Volume 1 and Volume 2. I have another Toko Kawaii one, also pretty chunky. This is Love Holic Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now the last of my series, I think. This is Selfish Mr. Mermaid by Nabako Kamo. This is Volume 1. And as you can see, a change from the bottom to the side spine design, Volume 2. So these are all of the ones from June Manga or DMP, I think, that are large trim size and part of a series. Now I've got all of the large trim size with one-shots to go through, and it is quite a lot. Now in this little space here, I'm going to put a couple of other things. The first one is another DMP. This is Only the Ring Finger Knows, the manga version by Satoru Kanagi and Hotaru Odogiri. This is the only thing that came out as a manga. It is related to a 5-volume novel, Yaoi novel series though. So I'm putting it in here because it is part of the series, but this is all we got. I'm also going to put this here as well. This is Gorgeous Carrot Galaxy. This is a yaoi manga, but it's something that happens apparently after. It's a continuation from Gorgeous Carrot, which is a 4-volume series published by Blue, which is Tokyopop's old yaoi imprint. Now I've also got a couple of digital manga publishing DMPs to add as well. This is Mikio Tsuda's Family Complex. This is just a one-shot. And another older one, also with the purple bottom yaoi manga. This is Sweet Revolution by Yukine Honami and Serubo Suzuki. So I think that should be everything from DMP. Now we're going to move on to the one-shots. And I'm going to do it like reverse alphabetically. And I know I haven't alphabetized any of the other shelves, but this one I've kind of done it just because I have no other way to organize it, so we're going to do it that way. We start with You and Haru Jion. This is by Keiko Kinoshita. Wild Butterfly by Hiroki Kusumoto. Tricky Prince by Yukari Hashida. Total Surrender by Hiroko Ishimaru. Time Lag by Shinobu Goto and Hotaru Odagiri. Thirsty for Love by Yukine Honami and Satosumi Takaguchi. The Way to Heaven by Yamimaru Injin. The Paradise on the Hill by Momoko Tenzin. The Day I Become a Butterfly by Sumomo Yumeka. The Dawn of Love by Kazuho Hirokawa. The Art of Loving by Eki Eki. Sweet Regard by Juji Fusa. Suggestive Eyes by Momoko Tenzin. Sugar Milk by Jarju Dokuro. Stop Bullying Me by Natsuho Shino. Stolen Heart by Yukine Honami. Star by Keiko Kono. Spell by Hyota Fujiyama. Solfege by Fumiyoshi Naga. Sighing Kiss by Ryu Yamakami. Shy Intentions by Shoko Takaku. Shards of Affection by Juo Brand. Sea View by Ayumi Kano. Romantic Illusions by Rei Chihiro. Restart by Shoko Hidaka. Picnic by Yugi Yamada. Physical Attraction by Tatsumi Kaiya. Passionate Theory by Ayumi Kano, Party by Tatsumi Kaya, The Object of My Affection by Nanao Okuda, Not Enough Time by Shoko Hidaka, Melted Love by Yotaka, I don't know how to pronounce, Takaumi? It's a terrible font. Loving Gaze, this is by Akira Kambe. A Love Song for the Miserable by Yukimura. Love Share by Aoi Kujo. Lover's Pledge by Kae Maruya. Love Lesson by Hanae Sakazaki. Yes. Love Control by Ai Hasukawa. Little Crybaby by Keiko Kinoshita. L'Étoile Solitaire by Yuno Ogami. Laugh Under the Sun by Yugi Yamada. La Satanaka by Momoko Tenzin. Ka Shinfu by Makoto Tatano. Makoto Tatono. Wow, that was really hard to say. Invisible Love by Rie Honjo. I'll Be Your Slave. This is by Miki Araya. Hot Limit by Akira Kambe. Happiness Recommended by Soya Himawari. Golden Prince and Argent King by Koko Agawa. Freefall Romance by Hyota Fujiyama. Feverish by Takaaki Kusaka. Fake Fur by Satomi Yamagata. Embracing Love by Ryoko Ochiba. Endless Rain by Yuya. Duetto by Aoi Kujo. Double Trouble by Takashi Kanzaki. Don't Say Anymore Darling by Fumi Yoshinaga. Ciao Ciao Bambino by Momoko Tenzin. Barefoot Waltz by Rumiko Miike. Awaken Forest by Yuna Aoi. All Nippon Airline Paradise at 30,000 Feet by Kei Azumaya. Alcohol Shirt and Kiss by Yuko Kuwabara. And After I Win by Kaname Itsuki. So these are all of the large trim size one-shots, and I'm going to go through my small trim size now. That's why I've added it on like that. So they will be alphabetical for the one-shots, but I'm not too sure about everything else. I'll have to organise the smaller trim size now for June manga. So we're going to start with the series that I have that's short trim size. And we're going to start with some that are either incomplete or I have it elsewhere in the collection, obviously. It's as complete as can be in some cases. So we're going to start with this random volume 3 of Border. This is by Kazuma Kodaka. I do have whatever's published, but it is incomplete as there's more in Japanese than what we got in English. I also have a volume 1 of The Tyrant Falls in Love by Hinako Takanaga. I think I have 2 copies of this because I have the majority of the series in my other collection. So I have in this collection volume 1, volume 10, and volume 11. A couple of times Hinako Takanaga has completed this series and said that's her finished, and then she just ends up writing more. So I think there's more in Japanese now, and unfortunately I don't think we're going to get any more from June manga, which is a real shame because once you've started you really do want to finish. But if she keeps just finishing and then going, nope, psych, here's another volume, I do think that's a little bit difficult for a publisher such as June manga. And the last one here I've got is Kiss Blue volume 2. Now, I know I've got volume 1, and I also know that it's in large trim size, and I am convinced that I brought it up here from my other collection, which means I probably have a box of manga somewhere. I don't know what's in it, except Kiss Blue volume 1, which means I have more, so I might have to add to this the end of the video if I go searching for it. But yes, I have Kiss Blue Volume 2. I have Volume 1 somewhere. Now on to series I can actually read, and the first one here is Kizuna Deluxe Edition by Kazuma Kodaka. I have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and the final Volume 6. Now on to another incomplete series, and that is Does the Flower Blossom by Shoko Hidaka. I have read this series, but it's then sat in my parents' loft for years, like a decade. So I haven't read it in a long time. So yeah, I have Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. As far as I know, there were 5 volumes in Japanese, and we didn't get the other 2, which is really annoying because this was a really big hit at the time. Another series I think is incomplete is I've Seen It All by Shoko Takaku. I've got Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And I think that's all we've got in English, but I don't actually know how many volumes it was in Japanese. On to some 2-volume series, that is Depression of the Anti-Romanticist by Yasuna Saginuma and Ryu Yamakami. And this is a very thin Volume 2. Then on to Hideyoshiko's Apple and Honey, and Apple and Honey, His Rose-Colored Life. I also have Haruno Ahiru's Mr. Tiger and Mr. Wolf Volume 1 and Volume 2. This is Soya Himawari's Right Here, Right Now, which also has another name, and this is Volume 1 and Volume 2. I think this was published digitally, so yeah, that's why it's got a different name as well. And a couple of new purchases that are Volume 1s. We'll see if we ever get any more. This is Romeo Volume 1 by Aja Watanabe, and Depth of Field by Enjo. This is also Volume 1, and there is more in Japanese. On to our one-shots, and we're going to start at the back of the alphabet again. Your Story I've Known by Tsuta Tsuzuki, Wolf Magic by Natsuki Zippel, When the Heavens Smile by Aki Senu, Warning Whispers of Love by Puku Okuyama, Then Comes Love by Ryu Yamakami, The Man I Picked Up by C.J. Mikulski, That Was Good by C.J. Mikulski, Temperature Rising by Soya Himawari, Secretary's Job by Miki Araya, President Momoe-kun by Higashi Nishida, the second edition of No Touching at All by Ko Yoneda, Ninth Life Love by Lalako Kojima, My Bad by Rize Shimba, Mr. Minimart by Junko, Love with 2 exclamation marks, Ariko Kanazawa, Lies Are a Gentleman's Manners by Marta Matsuo, Juicy Cider by Shimbariz, Garden Sky by Yuko Kuwabara, Desire Sensibility by Sota Narazaki, Caramel by Puku Okuyama, Cafe Latte Rhapsody by Toko Kawaii, Butterfly of the Distant Day by Toko Miyagi, Beast and Feast by Norikazu Akira, As Many as There Are Stars, this is by Mieko House Matsumoto, and A New Season of Young Leaves, this is by Benio Tachibana and Akeno Kitahata. So like I said, I do know that I've got Volume 1 of Kiss Blue, and I thought I had it here, which means it might be in this house. I thought I brought it up with me. Maybe I didn't. Also, you might have noticed that there's a few things on here you're like, oh, you've definitely read that. But I don't have any memory of it, so I put it in this pile just in case. Because honestly, some of these I have probably read and forgotten about. For example, Mr. Minimart, I know I read because I read it when I first bought it, but like Does the Flower Blossom, I bought it and put it in my collection, which is up in a loft, and so it's just been in a box for a long time. So I have read, but only once when I first purchased it, and I don't actually have any memory of it other than that was good. And I kind of feel like I should actually read these things rather than just hoarding them. Yeah, already I have a lot of June manga. So from digital manga publishing DMP, there are another two imprints, which is Doki Doki and 801. So I have to go and get those as well and maybe add them to the stack. This shelf just might end up being a DMP shelf of unread, and there's quite a lot still. So yeah, let's go and get some more manga. I'm just concerned about the integrity of the shelves, which are either very bottom heavy, which is probably a good thing. So I'm going to move on to the next imprint, which is Doki Doki. But before I do that, I do have one very random DMP small trim size volume, which is called Crimson Cross, which is Kyoko Negishi and Sakai Maeda's works. It is, yeah, a small trim size DMP. It's the only one I have, so I'm going to add this probably to the pile down below. Now, I don't have too much for Doki Doki. We're going to start with a shoujo title, which was supposed to be a little bit BL, but only because it's by Eiki Eiki. This is Millennium Prime Minister, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. Another shoujo title that probably shouldn't be in this collection, but is mainly because of who wrote it, Chigusa Kawaii. This is Alice the 101st, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and the final Volume 4. Next, a 3-volume series, also by Eiki Eiki, and this is A Train Train, Volume 1, Volume 2, and the final Volume 3. On to some 2-volume series. It's really hard to see with the light. This is Brilliant Blue by Saemi Yorita. This is Volume 1, and a chunky Volume 2. On to another 2-volume series. This is Makoto Tateno's Happy Boys, Volume 1, and another chunky Volume 2. On to some more Makoto Tateno. This is How to Capture Martini. This is one that has, I don't know if I've actually read it or not, but I'm putting it in the list anyway. And the companion volume, which also I don't know if I've read. I've read one of them, but I haven't read the other. This is How to Control a Sidecar. So yeah, I'm putting them both in. They can be read together. They've got overlapping characters apparently. Now, one I can't really read until I've read Princess Princess, which this is Princess Princess Plus by Mikio Tsuda, and I still need to get that volume 2. On to some one-shots. This is A Place in the Sun by Lala Takemiya, Living for Tomorrow by Taishi Zao, Electric Hands by Taishi Zao, and Color by Eiki Eiki and Taishi Zao. You'll notice that there's a lot of Eiki Eiki and Taishi Zao in Doki Doki, and I have no idea why. And also, I may have read this, but I have no memory of it, so I'm adding it into the collection. So that is everything from Doki Doki that I need to read, which isn't too much either. And we're going to move on to 801 now. We're going to start with a series that is unfortunately half in this collection and half in my other collection. But it's all on my TBR. This is Yuki Shimizu's Ze, I think. Ze. But this is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, and Volume 11. I do have 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the other collection. So once I get them all together, I can actually read this, but as it is, I can only read up to Volume 6 just now. I have a 4-volume series, Dog and Cat by Yoshimi Amasaki, and this is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and final Volume 4. This is a small trim size 2-volume kind of omnibus. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's so small compared to everything else and so thick. It makes no sense whatsoever. This is Underground Hotel by Mika Sadahiro. This is Volume 1 and Volume 2, and this is all we got. I think it's complete, but yeah, this is the weirdest thing I own in terms of BL. Another 2-volume series. This is I'm Not Your Stepping Stone by Shioko Kano. and the companion volume Maybe I'm Your Stepping Stone by Shioko Kano. And I've got this one, which is His Arrogance by Takashi Kanzaki. This comes after what I think is like Love Alpha or Alpha Plus, something like that. And then we've also got Falling into Love, and that's the third one. So Love plus Alpha, I think that's what it's called, is in my other collection. On to some one-shots, and I've got I've Moved Next Door to You by Furi Misasaki, Weekend Lovers by Kiriko Fua, Just Around the Corner by Toko Kawaii, A Fallen Saint's Kiss by Yo Higashino, Deeply Loving a Maniac, also by Yo Higashino, Yokanita's The Prime Minister's Secret Diplomacy, Kiss Your Hair by Gio Brand, Don't Rush Love by Mio Tenoji, and lastly, The President's Time by Tamaki Kirishima. There are more 801s in my other collection that I haven't read, but this is all what I've got here. So this is all of the 801 that I have in this collection that I have not read yet. So it's quite a small little stack. There's, I think, quite a bit more in my other collection. So yeah, a little bit to read, but I could probably go through them if I really concentrated. So we're going to start with the Dieu that I got in my collection. I've read probably about slightly less than half, and this is the longest series that I've got unread. I Shall Never Return by Kazuna Uchida, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and the final Volume 5. I have a 3-volume series by Shioko Kano. This is Yakuza in Love, Volume 1, Volume 2, and the final Volume 3. I've got an interconnected duology, Naughty But Nice by Naduki Kojima, and Spicy But Sweet. There may be more to this in Japanese. I'm not sure, I'd need to check. I have the first of what are probably one-shots because we got Tomcats with a big number 1 on the front by Mashiro Minamino, but this is the only volume that we got. So I don't know if there's more and we just didn't get it, but there's no number on the side. I've got 2 Est M's by Dieu. This is Red Blinds the Foolish and Seduce Me After the Show. I've got another Shioko Kano, Tough Love Baby, an unopened Kano Miyamoto, Say Please. This is Rough Love by Tamaki Kirishima, Fresh Men by Yuya, Spring Fever by Yuki Yamada, and one that I'm never sure if I've actually read or not. If I have, I definitely picked it up, but I might not have finished it. This is Makoto Tatano's Hate to Love You. So this is everything that I have unread in this collection from Dieu. I may have others in my other collection, I'm not entirely sure, but Dieu didn't actually publish too much. So yeah, this is not too many titles to read, and especially if there's a couple of series, I could get through quite a lot as well. On to another publisher, and this is Drama Queen, and I'm going to start with 2 that I have absolutely no interest in reading, and yet I still have them in the collection and purchase them, so more fool me. These are the original English language manga anthologies. This is Rush Volume 0, slightly larger trim size, and Rush Volume 1. I'm only kidding. I will one day get round to reading any and all of the OELs that have been produced. I'm going to try and see if I can collect some of them, but honestly, my enthusiasm for them is very, very low. There's not a lot of series from Drama Queen. I have Your Honest Deceit, Volume 1. This is by Sakufu Ajimine, and this is Volume 2, and that's the final volume. I have 2 connected single volumes from Duo Brand. This is Crimson Wind and White Guardian. I have 2 one-shots from Masara Minase. This is Empty Heart and Lies and Kisses. I have 2 one-shots from Akira Honma. This is Last Portrait and The Judged. I absolutely love the cover of this. It's great. Then I have some one-shots. This is Junk by Shushushu Sakurai, Allure by Yuri Ebihara, Love Me Sinfully by Mio Tenoji, and one that I thought I had read, but actually I don't think I finished it, was Virtuoso I cannot read this, Amore, Di Amore by Uki Ogasawara, which is the same mangaka as Black Sun, which I absolutely love. And this is everything that I have from Drama Queen that is unread. So it's a very small stack, and I really should prioritize to try and get them down, especially because there's mangaka in here that we don't have too much from, and I really enjoy their work, especially Minase Masara. Now I have some Kimedia here. I have a 4-volume series by Kazuto Tatsukawa, but I'm not sure in which order they're supposed to be read, and I have the first volume, which is Scandalous Stereo University, in my other collection. So this is Return to, Beyond, and Class Reunion. I have a 2-volume series, I Can't Stop Loving You by Ro Takakura. This is volume 1 and volume 2. Another 2-volume series, this is Thunderbolt Boys Excite by Asami Tojo, volume 1 and volume 2. I have some one-shots. This is But I'm Your Teacher by Ro Takakura, I Want to Be Naughty by Mei Sakuraga, Sense and Sexuality, this is by Yo Higashino, Family by Yuya, Skyscrapers of Oz by Yoshino Soumei and Ro Takakura, Because I'm a Boy by Aja Watanabe, and finally Poison Cherry Drive by Motoni Modoru. And these are all of the Kimedia that I need to read, with a weird, slightly larger Skyscrapers of Oz. Like I said, there are some more in my other collection, but not too many because they didn't publish that much. Be Beautiful is a publisher that I have still not yet completed, so I do still have a couple that I need to collect before I can say that I've got all of their published works. One that I'm needing to get a volume for is Embracing Love by Yokanita. I have volume 1, volume 3, volume 4, and volume 5. So I need to get volume 2 of Embracing Love. It's quite expensive. And then I'll be able to read this. Or I could just read the Sublime version, which printed the omnibus versions up to volume 6, but still not the full complete story. So yeah, poor Yokanita didn't get a full publication of this Embracing Love. But yeah, I need to get volume 2. Another series I need to get volume 1 of is Kizuna Bonds of Love by Kazuma Kodaka. Obviously, I now have the June manga deluxe editions, but I would like to get this one complete as well. So I need to get volume 1, but I have volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, and volume 8. I need to get volume 7 as well. So I have 2 from Kizuna Bonds of Love to get, 1 and 7, and then I will actually have everything. So it's just 3 volumes to be able to complete Be Beautiful. I'm still on the lookout. I have a 2-volume series from Naduki Kojima. This is Selfish Love, volume 1 and volume 2. Why do the leaves look slightly suspicious though, is my question. And the final unread one, or at least I think I haven't read this, is Yokanita's Sound of My Voice. This was also supposed to be a long-running series, but I think it got cancelled in Japan. So yeah, Sound of My Voice is one I don't think I've read, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is everything unread from my Be Beautiful. And obviously at least 2 of them I can read. The other 2 I do need to collect a couple of the early volumes. So yeah, this is not a lot, but maybe it'll give me a bit of a kick up the bum to try and see if I can get those other volumes if I see this out on display incomplete. Now, Blue was one of the original imprints for Yaoi This is Tokyopop's imprint for BL or yaoi. This is a 4-volume series by Yun Koga. This is Earthian Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and a little dinky Volume 4, and this is the final volume. Now, I mentioned this series already. This is Yo Higuri's Gorgeous Karat. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. This is not necessarily the final one because obviously I mentioned Gorgeous Karat Galaxy, which was a D-manga title, but this is the last one for Blue. I have a 3-volume series by Hirotaka Kisaragi. This is Innocent Bird, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Another 3-volume series. I'm not sure if there were originally 3 or more, but this is what we've got. This is Takumi-kun, Volume 1, June Pride by Shinobu Goto and Kazumi Oya. Then we got Barefoot Waltz, and then Tales Out of Season. Once again, we have 3 volumes, but I'm not sure how many volumes there were supposed to be or how many there are in Japan. This is Yo Higuri and Spray and Gakuen Heaven. Gakuen Heaven Nakajima. And Gakuen Heaven Endo Calling You. I think there was supposed to be like a volume per character because we got the same main character and then all of the love connections he's supposed to be having throughout the game because this is based on a game. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how many we were supposed to have of this. Now, one I know we didn't get all of the volumes for, and this is Yamimaru Engine's Voice or Noise. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, and quite a chunky Volume 3. And unfortunately, we only got 3 volumes from Blue. I think there are like 9 volumes of this series, and it was really popular and long running. But yeah, we didn't get many more from this series. Now, another one I've got, not all of it here in this collection, You Will Fall in Love by Hinako Takanaga. I think this is the one that's just a one shot. I'm not 100% sure. And then we have You Will Drown in Love, and one of them is a 1 and there's another volume. So there's 3 volumes. So I'm not sure if this is volume 1 or The Fall in Love was volume 1 and there's a volume 2 because I don't have it with me. It's in my other collection. But there were even more after that. There were a lot of You Will Such and Such in Love by Hinako Takanaga. There's more to this series or spin-offs with spin-offs. So yeah, unfortunately we didn't get any more, just those 3 volumes. Now, one we did get fully complete is Fumi Yoshinaga's Gerard and Jacques, and this is volume 1, and this is volume 2. We got Madness by Kairi Shimotsuki. This is volume 1, quite a chunky boy. And also pretty thick is volume 2 as well, and that should be it complete. A little bit thinner is The Loudest Whisper by Temari Matsumoto. This is volume 1, and this is volume 2. Also by Temari Matsumoto, I have a one-shot, Just My Luck, and another one-shot by Temari Matsumoto, Cause of My Teacher. Another one-shot is Crocus by Hinako Takanaga, and not surprising anyone that this is still on my TBR, Isle of Forbidden Love by Duo Brand. And the last one I have to show you is volume 3 of Suzuki Tanaka's Menkui. I do have volume 1 and 2, and I might possibly even have another volume 3 because look how badly that was printed. But yeah, Menkui is the manga that Suzuki Tanaka produced before his favorite. So yeah, Menkui meaning someone who looks good. So a running theme in their works. And this is everything that I have that is unread for Blue in this collection. I do have quite a bit of Blue in my other collection that is also unread. So for example, I've got quite a lot of my Junjo Romantica and also Love Mode. Yeah, there's quite a few other titles I think that I have in that collection, so I will need to try and bring up some more from there. I've read pretty much most of Junjo Romantica, but Love Mode is Love Mode I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the one I haven't read any of. So that's a big, I think 12 volume series, something like that. So as it is, this looks quite dinky, but there are more. They're just not here, which is fine with me for just now because it means my total is going to be a little bit lower. So this is everything that I've got on my physical TBR, I think, from all of my drawers. Which are now looking incredibly empty and kind of a little bit messy and disorganized, so I will have to try and see if I can organize them now. Some of them are a little bit top heavy as well, but generally there's a lot of things removed, so each of the drawers has about half of the amount. So I will need to go through, make sure I've got all my numbers correct. Hopefully you are able to see on the screen, or have been able to see on the screen if my editing's up to puff. All of the numbers so that I have a more accurate breakdown of all of the volumes that I have on my TBR physically. Some of them I'll be able to read straight away, and there's no real excuse. A lot of one-shots, so I'll probably have quite a few one-shots that I can read. There's some complete series that I will be able to read, or some volume ones. Obviously some series that I'm missing some from, so there'll be a number for that in terms of how many volumes I need to read. But there will be some volumes that I can't read due to the fact that I'm missing some of the volumes that are still in my other collection. So yeah, there's definitely a lot here. So hopefully that number's on the screen and my editing self has done that like I did for the prose video. Go check that out if you haven't already. So yeah, this is everything that's my physical BL manga manhwa TBR, and it is quite a big stack. It doesn't look too bad from just looking at it here, because there's a lot of white space, which is nice. I quite enjoy that. It means that there's space to put more things on. And yes, there are more things in the post that I'm waiting to get. But yeah, this is a fairly substantial amount to still need to read through, and that doesn't include any of the numbers of volumes that are in my other collection, like I mentioned Love Mode, or I've got Hey Class President, I haven't mentioned that at all, the Junjo Romanticas, all of the volumes that I have not read that are in my other collection. Some more June manga one-shots for sure. So yeah, there's still an awful lot of things that are on my TBR, but they are in my other collection. And that number, I have no idea what that is. I should probably, if I know, I'll put it on the screen. But that's maybe an estimate rather than an actual accurate number. And I do need to find Kiss Blue Volume 1. Maybe I've got it under my bed because I do have some boxes of manga all boxed up under my bed as well. So yeah, this is only the BL. It's not including some of the other things that I used to have and I still have, but they are, like I mentioned, in boxes. And that's things like Full Metal Alchemist, Assassination Classroom, One Punch Man, things like that. So I also have some of those non-BL titles that I do need to read at some point. So yeah, this is quite a lot. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If anyone fancies buddy reading with me, maybe I need that to give me the kick up the bum to actually read them. Although I say that and I still haven't read Boy Princess. I apologise, Katie, I still have not read it all. So yeah, there's definitely issues that's stopping me from reading some of these, but maybe having them out on display will help me. I do think maybe I have ADHD and there's a bit of object permanence there. It's like, I know I have these in terms of like cerebrally, I know, but my memory doesn't let me know, oh, you have this to read. And when I look at it, I'm like, oh, I'm excited to read this. but I actually do have to sit down and read it and not get distracted by other things. So yeah, the trials and tribulations of having a collection this big is that you don't always get everything read, even though you want to read them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It's been quite an undertaking. It's taken me several days, not only to build the shelves, but also transport all of these piles of books all over my house and from my drawers upstairs and things. So yeah, it's been a bit of a workout. I'm sure I've lost a few pounds, which is fine, because having purchased all of these, I've definitely lost quite a few pounds. I don't even know how much all of this would be in terms of the monetary value. I don't want to think about it. I mean, I do know, I can do the maths, but that's for another video maybe. That's definitely for another video. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. I know, of course, there's still quite a lot being published. Every month we get, hey, these are the new ones that are going to be released. So there's a constant stream of new BL to purchase and buy and read, and still old ones, especially like the June manga ones that I need to read because they're just sitting there doing nothing. So yeah, it's an interesting endeavor to go through and actually total up all of my unread BL manga, and it's been fun actually, and a little bit overwhelming. But looking at all of this, I want to read all of it. I do want to read, well, maybe except for Rush, but yeah, most of this I do want to read, and I do want to sit down and enjoy reading, and the process of it. So this is the point, and hopefully I will be able to do the same again for my digital. I have audio and digital still to do. This is going to be a series. I didn't realize it was going to be a series, but it is going to be a series. I have a lot of digital manga and prose and audiobooks and things like that. So I need to go through those as well to see what I own and what I need to read or get rid of, and that's my TBR. So digital ones to come. So yeah, this is a lot. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been good for me, and I would love to know, what's your TBR? Physical BL TBR. Do you read everything as soon as you buy it? Or do you have ongoing series and things that you're saving up to binge? Because I always say that I'm going to binge something and I never actually binge it. And I'm looking at you, Hitoriji, my hero, Tendance. There are things that are bingeable, but I have not binged. And yeah, I'm wondering, how does everyone else organize their TBR? Do you read the month you get it? Or do you save them up and for readathons and things like that? So yeah, this is everything I can read from for my 801 readathon and every other readathon for the rest of time. But yeah, I'm probably going to be adding a few more. I know they're in the post and they're winging their way. So yeah, I might have to do like a monthly check-in and just say, this is how much I've read, this is how much I've added, and just have a running total like a lot of other people do. But you need to start from scratch, and this is me starting from scratch. So yeah, it's been good, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully the lighting's not too bad, because obviously I did this over a few days. So yeah, we'll keep this up to date. I'm gonna try and keep this up to date anyway, and I'm sure this editing has been really quite taxing as well. Sorry to me, sorry to future me. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching to the end of this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want. And also a big thanks to my Patreon, who will get this as an early access video too. Take care, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!